My dear children, good morning. How are you all? In our previous class, we studied about how East India Company comes east and how they started trade in India. We will discuss about how trade led to battles in today's class. Dear children, please look at the timeline carefully. This timeline explains the rise and fall of British East India Company from 1600 to 1857. 1600 East India Company was formed. 1614 factories are set up in Masulipattnam and Surat. 1739 Delhi is sacked by Nader Shah from Persia. 1746 siege of Madras by French. First time a fort besieged by an European nation. 1751 Robert Clive captures Arcot, turning point in Indian history where British got upper hand on French. 1757 Battle of Plassey, Nawab Siraj ul Dawla lost to British East India Company. 1765 Mughal Emperor gives rights to East India Company for revenue collection in Bengal. 1767 First Anglo-Mysore War between Hyder Ali and East India Company. 1773 British East India Company gets monopoly to sell opium in Bengal. 1799 Tipu Sultan killed at Battle of Srirangapatnam. 1803 Second Anglo-Maratha War and fall of Delhi. 1806 Vellore Sipai Mutiny. 1825 Massive migration of Indians to Reunion and Mauritius. 1835 English made official court language. 1843 Doctrine of Lapse came into force to capture Sindh province. 1853 First railway line between Thane and Bombay. 1857 Indian Sipai Mutiny. 1858 India comes under the Crown ending East India Company rule. What attracted European trading companies to India? You know the answers. Dear children, the fine qualities of cotton and silk produced in India and the spices such as pepper, cloves and cardamom attracted European trading companies to India. The first English company was set up on the banks of River Hooghly in 1651. The factory had warehouse from where the factors operated. They intentionally made merchants and traders to live near the factory and then gradually started fortifying from 1696. They bribed East India Company peoples, they bribed Mughal officials and got zamindari rights over 3 villages including Kolkata. Then got the right of free trade only for British and pressed for more concessions. Gradually, through different means, they captured other territories as well. The company intentionally made the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to issue Farman. Last class I mentioned this word, Farman, that is granting the company the right to trade duty free. The company pressed for more concessions and manipulated the existing ones. The Farman had only granted them duty-free trade for the company, but the company officials did not pay duty even for their own private trade. This caused revenue loss to Bengal and the rulers protested against this. After the death of Alivardi Khan, Sirajudullah became the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, dear children, now let we discuss the areas of conflict between the Bengal Nawabs and the East India Company. The East India Company always they requested to grant concessions to their company, demand of large tributes from the company for right to trade. The company denied to give. The next one is denial of right to minting, that is making coins. Next one is stoppage of fortification expansion. Nawab claimed that company was preventing the Bengal government of huge amount of revenue. They were undermining the authority of the Nawabs. Let me see what all the actions taken by the company. The refusal to payment of taxes by the company. They were writing disrespectful letters to the Mughal emperors, trying to humiliate the Nawab and the officials, enlargement of settlements by the company, buying villages. Yes, they bought villages and they were rebuilding of forts. Okay. In 1765, the Diwani rights of the company benefited the company. They could collect the revenues from the zamindars and others. It began to get finances to meet its expenditure for buying cotton and silk textiles, maintain troops, forts and offices in India. Is it clear? Dear children, let me continue this into our next video. Stay connected.